Writing your own mixture problems with money. Today you are getting an assignment where you have to write one mixture problem involving money. So I'm creating videos to help you do that. And actually what we do when we create problems is we start out with our answer. We start out with what we want to end up with, and then we work backwards in the process. So writing is actually what we're going to be doing last. So I have some steps here. You don't have to write down the steps, but I do want you to write down the tables. The first step is to determine what coins you're going to have. And then within those coins, you have to determine which coin is going to be your X value. Doesn't matter if you have your pennies be your X value, whichever one it is, but you have to determine which one is going to be X. Then you need to determine how many of that particular coin you're going to have in your problem. Step 3 is to write expressions for the other quantities using that number, so in terms of that number, and then you need to find the sum. So this is part A. I'm going to do a sample problem, and I'm going to use the handy dandy table that Mr. Witt uses. And I want you to use this as well. So if you need to pause the video to draw the table, do that now. This word denomination just simply means which coin. So it is whether it's the penny, the nickel, the dimes, or the quarters. And I have decided that my dimes are going to be my X value. You could choose a different one, but you need to make that determination. Now in this table, we're actually going to be using a number. So remember I said we're going to be working backwards. So in the end, people are going to find out that there are 5 dimes. And I'm going to highlight that number because everything else is going to be written in terms of that number. So I am going to say that I'm going to have 8 times as many nickels as I do dimes. So that would be 8 times 5. So that would mean I would have, in the end, the answer that the person would be finding is you have 5 dimes, you have 40 nickels. The number of pennies I have is going to be 2 more than 30 times the number of dimes I have. So I'm going to take 30 times 5 and add 2. So there's my 5 again. The reason I'm highlighting this 5 is because when I get to the next part, every time I write something, this is going to change to an X. But right now what I'm trying to find out is my actual answer. So when I take 30 times 5 and add 2, I'm going to get 152. So I'm going to have 152 pennies. I'm going to have 40 nickels, I'm going to have 5 dimes, and my number of quarters is going to be 6 less than 8 times the number of dimes. So again, I'm going to take 8 times 5, and I'm going to subtract 6. And that's going to equal 40 minus 6, which is equal to 34. So the number of coins that I have for the answer is 152 pennies, 40 nickels, 5 dimes, and 34 quarters. So I've written expressions for the quantities that use that number. Now I need to find, well, how much money is that? So I'm going to take the value of each coin. So this is 1 cent. This is 2 cents. This is 10 cents. And this is 25 cents. And you can either use your calculator or you can do the math in your head. Obviously, 152 pennies is going to be $1.52. If I have 40 nickels and they're worth 5 cents each, I'm going to end up with $2. And if I have 5 dimes, 10 cents each, I'm going to have 50 cents. And if I have 34 quarters and I multiply that by 25 cents, I believe I get $8.50. So what I need to do is I need to add this column to find the total. So I'm going to have 2, 5, 10, 15, carry the 1, here's a group of 10, and 2 is 12. So the total amount of money that I have for this particular problem that I'm going to write is $12.52. Just a comment about what you're going to be adding and subtracting, because in your problem you are going to have at least one expression wherein the person is going to have to use the distributive property. So that means you're going to be adding or subtracting an amount. My suggestion is to use even numbers here. Just a suggestion. You don't have to follow that suggestion, but that's my suggestion. Okay, watch the next video to see what your next step is.